All right, guys, we've got to talk about a story that's going really, really viral right now, and I think is such a good representation of where the current Republican Party is at and the battle that we're not only in right now, but a lot of the battle that I predict will lie ahead. And I have to give a warning before we start this video. A lot of what you're going to see is pretty distressing. There's a lot of slurs used, and so definitely don't want children watching. If you don't want to watch this video, that's totally cool. You can click away. If you are still here, though, also before we start, my name is Chris Mowrey. I do a daily episode here on the Adam Mockler channel, and you guys have shown an unbelievable amount of support lately. I had a video yesterday go very viral here on the Adam Mockler channel. You guys really enjoy these types of videos. I appreciate the love and support. Make sure you're subscribed down below to the Adam Mockler channel and to my YouTube channel, Chris D. Mowrey. It'd mean a lot if you showed some love over there. Sometimes we debate Trump supporters, like live on YouTube. I post a lot of the similar content to this over on my channel. It'd mean a lot if you checked it out. All right, so there's a man on the screen right now. We're going to start with who is involved in a group chat that got leaked that has some really horrific stuff in it. So this is the Miami GOP secretary, Abel Alexander Carvajal, I believe. And this is the picture of him. He is one of the main people in what you're about to see, this group chat that was leaked relating to young Republicans, young Florida Republicans. The other person that is involved in this is a man named Dario Gonzalez. This is a picture of him. I apologize. I'm like zooming in and out in a very strange way. But he is also a student at Florida International University. That's where most of these students go. And is a quote, according to this down here, down on the bottom, is a trained historian specializing in South Florida and specifically Coral Gables history. Dario assists the firm's director of historic preservation services with in-depth research on localities and buildings. So those are the two main people leading this group chat that got leaked. Miami GOP secretary group chat pushes anti-Semitism and killing blank, the N-word. And that was used many times in this group chat. There are other screenshots besides what I'm about to show you that are floating around online that are just abhorrent. So let's take a look at this. In a disturbing series of group chat entries, obtained by the Floridian, Miami GOP Secretary Abel Alexander Carvajal ran a group chat in which the N-word was used over 200 times, and members celebrated the removal of an African-American activist from the FIU College Republicans. The chat, titled Uber the Arsler Yapping Inc., gives a shocking glimpse into the GOP's younger element of college students who espouse hateful ideas. Even more concerning are the chat's members. Carvajal, who is the secretary of the Miami-Dade GOP, Dario Gonzalez, who I also showed you, who is the FIU College Republicans membership director, and Ian Valdez, the FIU Turning Point chapter president. Turning Point USA, obviously being headed right now by Erica Kirk, videos that we have made on this channel before. And I want to be clear, so I saw a tweet from Mehdi Hassan, who I like and respect a lot, who said, you know, this is happening so often, so actively, especially with young Republicans. This is the next generation of the Republican Party, and not only will not a single Republican official talk about it, it just feels like no one will talk about it. News outlets won't talk about it. Everybody wants to act like it doesn't exist. Nick Fuentes, who I think goes down very much this same line, raging anti-Semite, somebody who uses a lot of slurs, is a very hateful individual. He's one of the most watched streamers on the internet right now and is espousing a lot of these same things. And so this is where the Republican Party is at. And so disappointing we don't have leaders who will talk about it. For months, Carvajal created and served as the administrator of the chat. Many times he participated in the conversations. At no point did he close the chat or attempt to claim the narrative. The chat goes beyond racist language. Sources have confirmed that he recruited members of this racist and anti-Semitic element into the Miami-Dade GOP to serve as committeemen and committeewomen. So these are people directly involved in the Republican Party or young Republicans, which are directly associated with the Republican Party and Turning Point USA, which I think regardless of the direct association is, you know, it's directly associated for all intents and purposes. Total N-word death, shouts Daniel Gonzalez, who has recently applied to become a GOP committeeman, and then some chats here at the bottom. The behavior wasn't limited only to online chats. The messages confirmed that racist behavior and actions were directed toward at least one African-American student forced her to leave the college Republicans. One portion of the chat references an African-American student named Sandra, whose real name has been changed to protect her identity. Sandra left the FIU College Republicans after being subjected to racial slurs. Quote, what happened to her, asked one participant. Dario Gonzalez responding, quote, William called her a N-word blank. So she left. I mean, this is like really abhorrent stuff. And it messes, you can let me know what you think about this in the comments down below, but it messes with my head every day that, you know, like seeing stuff like this so constantly online and the chaos that the United States is in, you almost become desensitized to it. And I think that's much easier for me to say being a straight white male in America, but I don't know, it kind of bothers me that I read this and I'm just like, yeah, you know, another day in the Republican Party. The new, younger Republican Party participants routinely joked about extreme acts of violence toward black people. The rhetoric shows a sick and twisted fantasy of physical harm and the extermination of African Americans. Carvall not only remained in the chat, he engaged with it, posted his own derogatory comments, and at times fueled the rhetoric of the chat. Where are Republican officials? Where are Republican officials from top to bottom? Where are Republican officials in Florida? Nowhere to be found. In early October, Ian Valdez, the president of FIU Turning Point Chapter, renamed the chat Gooning in this specific location, which I will not name, but you can read. It is a mythical civilization that Nazi general Heinrich Himmler and other Nazis believed was the hidden homeland of the Aryan race. Antisemitism was raging in this chat. The chat dipped further into the political gutter as both Dariel and Valdez expressed anti-Semitic sentiments when referencing, marrying a Jewish woman. Valdez stated that he was, I'm also not going to read that, some other slurs about Jewish people here and more slurs that start with a K. Were calling places that, the Nazis believed were home to the Aryan race or the homeland of the Aryan race, calling it, quote, heaven on earth. The text confirmed references to the Nazi ideology of a place without Jewish people. The use of racial slurs is not merely offensive, it's dehumanizing, harmful, and rooted in a long history of discrimination and hatred. According to another source within their local Republican Party, the role of the party secretary is not symbolic. It carries a responsibility to represent all members of the organization with professionalism and respect. And the source said, adding that Abel Alexander Carvall is in an elected leadership position and represents the largest Republican county in Florida that includes more than 170,000 African American voters. Party leaders and grassroots members could now face serious questions. How could an officer entrusted with representing a diverse county organization openly participate in such hateful exchanges, and will it affect the 2026 elections? And more so than that, I think the question is, like, you need to be going to every single Republican leader in Florida and anywhere and asking, will you, without a shadow of a doubt, call this what it is, gross, hateful, disgusting, that people like this have no place, not only in the Republican Party, but have no place in our society. You should be asking that to every politician point blank with a camera in their face. And the reality is that partly won't happen. And on the federal level, I think that J.D. Vance and these soulless creatures would say that, they're just joking and all this disgusting, gross stuff. This is currently, based on some polls, who's leading the governor's race in Florida. This is a man named James Fishbach, who I've talked a little bit about. And I think I hate to say needs more press, because I certainly don't want him to have more press, but he needs more press because he's such a hateful, gross individuals, a raging anti-Semite, somebody who doesn't believe in anything, and also has past relationships with a 17-year-old, which we are going to talk about in a second. But again, the Republican Party, no one cares anymore. There's just the amount of shit, frankly, I've said in the last 8 minutes of recording this video, is crazy that these are the individuals in the Republican Party. This is James Fishbach talking about a girl, underage, who got hit by a car when she walked out to protest ICE. We've seen a lot of schools around the country doing ICE protests, and this is what he had to say.
A few hours ago, we learned that a high school student in Palm Beach County was sadly struck by a car while skipping class for an ICE protest.
What, today?
Today. Please keep this young woman in her prayers. But for the safety of our children, drop the iron hammer on the ICE protests in our public schools. The First Amendment does not give a 16-year-old the right to be a delinquent, incorrigible student. Get the hell back to class or you're getting expelled.
So it's the 16-year-old's fault that she was hit by the car. You know, you're getting expelled. What an absurd line of reasoning there. No questions about a 16-year-old who, again, was hit by a vehicle. Was the driver intoxicated? What was the driver doing? But furthermore, what are you delinquent? What are you talking about? You don't think that we should be showing our children in schools, regardless of the issue, that they're able to use their First Amendment rights? And if it's approved by the school, like a lot of these instances are, and that instance was, hey, you can have, 20 minutes blocked off to go out if you want to be a part of this protest that has been organized. You can be part of the protest in whatever capacity you want because this is the United States of America and we're supposed to have a First Amendment right. I feel like that's just like an important thing to be showing kids. I mean, James Fishbach would know a lot about showing children things because, again, when he was 27 years old, he was involved in a relationship with a girl who was 16 and then turned 17. We're going to get to that in a second. MAGA candidate, this is James Fishbach, begs for cash to campaign to women on Tinder. This is a tweet from James Fishbach. Quote, I've joined Tinder to meet young female voters where they are and share my plan to make it easier for them to get married, buy a home, and raise a family. Florida should offer paid maternity leave to all moms. So this is what James Fishbach is doing, going on Tinder, I guess. A major Florida school district also cut ties with Fishbach in 2022 over allegations that he had an inappropriate relationship with a student who was 17 at the time. The woman, since identified as this individual, sought an order of protection against Fishbach last year over allegations he harassed her after they broke up. Fishbach denied the claims as, quote, completely false, adding that he has, quote, never been arrested, charged, or convicted of a crime. Really, insane way to slither out of questioning here because she filed that restraining order, an order of protection, and we have subpoenaed text messages from that order of protection. So we see James Fishbach spamming, 20, 30, however many texts, trying to engage with this 16 / I believe when they first started talking, she was 16, then she turned 17, this 17-year-old girl. And so his defense continues to be that nothing came of the protection order and that he wasn't charged or arrested. Why are you talking and spamming a 17-year-old girl, getting upset? Come back here. We need to talk now. Clearly involved in a sexual relationship as a man above 25 years old. I don't know anymore. The Republican Party, these people are just proud, I guess. The racist pedophiles. Project Liberal here with, I think, a great tweet back. Let's hope Tinder's age verification is up to the task. It's really disheartening stuff. And it's so gross, and it's so disgusting, and it's not who America is. It's not who America's, let me rephrase that. It's not who America's supposed to be. Let me know what you think of all that in the comments, of all of this in the comments down below. Once again, my name is Chris Mowrey. I do a daily episode here on the Adam Mockler channel. Make sure you subscribe down below. And again, it would mean a lot if you checked out my YouTube channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a safe rest of your week into the weekend, and I will see you tomorrow.